G'day YouTubers. I bought my first camp oven about 6 months ago. It's a 10-inch Southern Metal Spinners Spun steel camp oven, and today we're going to cook a roast lamb, and I'll have a bit of a talk about my impressions of the camp oven so far. Let's do it. We've got the fireplace ready, and we've got the charcoal already ready. I've lit the charcoal using the chimney. I showed that in my previous video. The legged lamb, the small legged lamb's in the spun steel 10-inch camp oven with a trivet underneath. I'm using a trivet because I don't want to burn the bottom, and I'd rather the fat kept away from the meat a little bit. I usually start off by putting all the briquettes or the charcoal on top of the camp oven lid, and then I'll transfer about 7 or 8 into the fireplace, and the camp oven will sit on top of those. So normally I'll take the lid off once I get my lid lifter, take the lid off, and then I can transfer the camp oven by hand over onto the fireplace to sit on the briquettes underneath. So I think I've got 7 briquettes there, and there's 3 little rocks there I've got there as well to hold the camp oven off the ground a little bit, let a little bit more air get in there. So now just lifting up the lid with the lid lifter. Now these lid lifters are just about compulsory. You can buy them at the camping shops for about $10 to $15. So anyway, after 10 minutes, just lifting up the lid. You can hear it sizzling away. It's certainly cooking. I've got a bit of foil there so I don't burn the top side of the lamb, which I've had a little problem with a few times before. So anyway, it looks like it's going pretty good, and the heat's not too bad. So after half an hour, I'm taking another look at it. And just listen to that sound now, making a bit of sizzling there. It's half an hour the meat's been going, so I'm throwing in a spud and a couple of pieces of onion, and just rearranging that foil. This camp oven's been seasoned, but the seasoning on the inside didn't last very long at all. On the outside it's holding out. I used rice brand oil, but personally I wouldn't season one of these steel ones. It's a waste of time. Just keep them oiled. One of the great things about these spun steel camp ovens with the flat lid, you can boil your kettle or cook some rice or cook some veggies on the top while your roast is baking underneath. So in this case we needed some hot water, so I've boiled the kettle a couple of times and saved a bit of hot water to use later on in the day. So yeah. Really, you'll notice a table in the background in the picture of the wind came up quite strong late in the morning, so I've put a table there to block the wind a bit. So it's about 15 minutes after we put the potatoes in. I'm putting a bit of pumpkin in. Doesn't take as long as the potatoes. And I sort of find that it sort of steams it as well as roasts it, but it does come out really nice. So yeah, just putting the camp oven lid back on now, and getting it ready to put the kettle back on. Must have needed a bit more hot water for something. So that's one of the really good parts about this flat lid, and the flat lid can also be used as a frying pan too. So just taking it off again now after another 10 or so minutes to get ready. Decide to take the foil off the top of the meat, try and crisp it up a little bit. So it's all cooking along pretty nicely now. The number of briquettes underneath and on top seems to be about right. The actual briquettes last a lot longer than you need, but so
Pretty good.
It's about an hour and a half in now, so looks like it's pretty well cooked. So I'll just get a fork and check the pumpkin. It's pretty soft, the onion's pretty soft, so we'll declare it the mission complete and take the meat out first to give it a bit of a rest and come back and get the veggies after that. So you need something to put your lid on. You don't want to be putting it on the dirt, so you need a stainless steel rack or a few clean rocks or something. Something to put it on while you're mucking around, because otherwise you can't put it on the dirt because that's going to contaminate your food. So you need somewhere to put it. So, anyway, it's a really good sized camp oven for 2 people. Pretty well perfect, I think. Some people go for smaller ones, but you can put a chook in it, a big chook. Like a rolled leg of pork. Just getting the veggies out now, and they've taken about 40 minutes to cook, and I've found from experience that it doesn't pay to leave the camp oven on the heat source, because it just bakes everything. All the fat and everything and the scraps and everything all get baked onto the bottom, and it makes it really hard to wash. So as soon as I finish cooking, I take the camp oven off the heat, and I'll take the heat or the briquettes or the charcoal off the lid and put them in the fireplace, and in this case I put the kettle back on to keep it warm. But yeah, it just makes it easy to wash up if you
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
If you don't leave it on the heat and let everything bake in solid. So we're back inside, we're in the caravan now, and cutting up this small leg of lamb. It looks small because that's a really big chef's knife, but the meat is very tender and very flavoursome, and well worth the effort of cooking it on the camp oven. And yeah, if you're thinking about getting one, don't hesitate. And yeah, it's a fun activity, and you get to enjoy the result. So here's our bush meal. We're 75 kilometres out of Karratha at Kialrah Pool, and we're having a beautiful roast meal. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope I can produce something else to show you before too much longer.